See again, strong lines that brings you in the center, strong saturation, red colors. This one, this one is the same concept of the other image we have already seen here. Same concept. See? You look here, there's an aperture, there's something very cool to look at, and then boom, you have light going down as a balance point. And you can see, this lines just brings your attention in the center. This lady, she is watching there. They are watching there. And then you have this line. You have a strong contrast here, and a little bit of glow that of course helps because it's something cool to look at. Let's go to Simon Stalenhag. Now, what can we tell about this images? To me is still a secret how he can handle such a natural feeling with painting. And but what I see, okay, of course you can tell there's like photographic rules. You see this again, an arrow pointing to the focus point, areas with nothing, okay, and then areas full of details. We have a focus point, we have a balance point, we have something that breaks the symmetry. You start to see a pattern in all these images, like a way to think, a way to it's even if it's art, it sounds like science, okay? Because we know, we studied what is pleasant for the human brain, and so if you then use those tricks to please it, you won. And saturation, okay, saturation. There is a lot of work on the saturation, low saturation, and then you have this kind of strong orange and strong orange and strong orange and strong orange. You have connections, okay? You have connections between, lights and the reflection of a light. You have the connection of, you see the balance point reflects just behind the focus point. See, it's, nothing is random, guys. Nothing is random. Lines, stairs that become smaller and smaller and guide you to the focus point. Difference between vertical lines and horizontal lines. Line that goes back, you see on the left. The character here is looking back on the left. The water balloon here, I don't know how to say that, is kind of tilted to the left. See? So everything works in like the same way. This is cool. I feel like the focus point is this one this time, because even if we have line that goes in this way and the car pointing and at this way, we have these lines pointing here but then we have this pointing on the left. This is going to the right. I don't know. I would say that if I could, I would try to just rotate the image anti-clockwise for a few degrees to make this line here to go a little bit like this. I don't know. I would love to make a test. Maybe I will. But I don't understand if the focus point of this image is the sun point there, or the car. I don't know. I like this image less than this one. Okay. I'm not saying is a wrong image or a bad image. I say that I feel like I like it less because I don't understand what is the focus point of it. This is cool. This is, this is pretty cool. Focus point, balance point. This time this is the balance point, and you can tell because the robot is looking there. And you see lines going there, a connection between the focus point and the balance. You see the reflection. This shapes going into the center. Nothing to look at. Okay, nothing. And then a lot of details. And also, this image works because we have this massive, kind of evil thing there, which is, Avi. And then the robot here, it's kind of, it looks like he's scary, is afraid of something. The way he has like the legs and the arms, and the fact that he's looking back. So it means that he's moving away from this point here. So, this is not positive. This is not a positive building, okay? And when you make an image, try always to understand what is the feeling you want to share with the viewer, okay? And then pick all your elements depending on that. This robot is not happy. Is going away from here, even if still attracted by it in some sort of. So it's not running away, is not in pain, is not afraid of, is not, in danger, but, it's not a positive image anyway. Even look at the colors, okay? It's just pretty, depressing colors. But that's it. Of course, this is, some of them are kind of descriptive because these shots, most of the time, they are part of, I believe they're part of image plan for a movie, for storyboard, right? So, this is imagine this is as a scene for a shot, and it works if you think like that. And of course, we have the focus point, and is looking back on the left, and even this thing here is going back on the left, and we have the sun here. We have this that works as a wall. We have repetition. This is a very complex image. Probably too much. I don't know. Is probably works anyway without elements. you know what, sometimes you can take the image, put it in Photoshop, select some areas and content, and fill with content aware to, you know, delete those elements and see if it works better for you. Again, for you, I'm not saying this is wrong, okay? It's just my take on it. Okay, let's look at some pictures from Fernando. You see, being a photographer is probably way more difficult when it's about, you know, taking the right shot at the right time. And I believe when they go out to do such reportage, you know, they, you know, prepare themselves a day early and say, okay, I should be here at that time of the day, I should be there at that time, and so on. And of course, you know, Fernando asked people to, you know, be there and stay there still to, you know, while he's taking the picture. And in this one, I look at the guy here. I look at the guy because, you know, this strong line guides me there. And even this stuff here guides me there. There's a lot of lines, you know, guiding me on the floor. And so even if the center of I mean, we, everything in this image force us to look here, okay? Even the guy itself is looking there, right? But then there, I don't feel there's anything worth it to look at. So normally what I do, if this was a render, was to, you know, put these lamp here and then the guy here. And maybe the guy can stay there and look at the building. And so you have this kind of loop, you know, because the building get back to the guy and the guy look at the building and so on. And so you balance it. That's it. I mean, I'm not saying this photo is wrong. I'm just trying to imagine what I would do if this was a render, okay? Some of them are easier to understand. I mean, we need to look here. That's it. Okay. So I selected a few more images from Fernando Guerra, Afton Crow, and Yuan Man as examples. Look at this one. There's something amazing happening in this image. Remember when I talk about connections, about repetitions? Here we have a rectangle, okay, with inside another rectangle and a line that split them in two. And here, I don't know if it's made on purpose, but, you know, if it is, it's amazing. We have a rectangle, okay, with inside another rectangle and a line that split them in two. So you see, it's the same thing happening on two different things, and I don't know, it blows my mind, okay? Then we have here, of course, some strong guiding lines, and the fact that we have light inside here, of course, force us to look here. Also, we have this line here, this line here, this line here, and, you know, that's it. We have also the reflection of the same window. So, you know, it's like, you know, also the game about the dark, bright, and so on. That helps to make this part a little bit more, you know, pleasant to see and important. Now, if we move here, we can see that we can have an image with stairs, but depending on the value. So in this case, what we're looking at, we are looking here, okay, at this woman taking a picture of a painting. And I'm sure this is the focus point, because actually, even if this guy here is more on the center and, you know, it looks like is, you know, naturally stronger than the women, the background here is darker than here. So the strongest contrast it's happening here on the woman. And the fact that we have these lines and this, you know, it basically creates something like stairs. It's like a funnel, you know. We go down here, we go down here, and, you know, even here we basically kind of, you know, we this area prevails on this one. And this guy here is going back to the left, and this is again another way to balance the image and to start all over again. Okay, also this line here, and the fact that we have you know, painting, you know, always smaller, you see, it's a very cool shot, very cool shot. Now, in this one, we can tell there are very strong guidelines that brings you here, okay? But I feel a little bit weird about this image, because even if it's a very probably expensive building, you know, and if you are there, you are probably rich. It's a good day, you know, there's sun, you can go there and lay down on and take some sun bath. The colors and the fact that this area is pitch black, I don't know, it, you know, there's a fight inside my head for this image, because it's not positive. Even if it's a nice place, it's not a positive image. And I believe it's because of the choice of the colors and also the choice of the saturation. Everything looks a little bit sad, but I don't know. Maybe is the willing of the photographer. So, and in this one, I watched this image tons of time, and everything here, everything here brings you to the center of the image here. Okay, sorry if I made a mistake. Okay, it brings you here, and here even the guy here is looking there, and the boat is looking there. Okay, but then there's nothing there. What we need to look at there. The cool thing in this picture, in this photo, is the guy. And even here, this line is like going back on the left, and now I feel like even the boat is going back on the left. So this is a case where photographers are less lucky than us, because they cannot choose everything. Okay. And I feel like in this picture the guy is prevalent on the building, and but anyway, it's a cool photo anyway. And I don't know if there's any way to actually make this part kind of stronger. I don't know. In probably, if I could do that in a render, I would turn on a strong light there, very strong light, maybe orangey, just to balance the, you know, green color we have on the water. That would be a good idea if this was a render. Okay. Look at this. This one self-explain. Okay, so we have, see, an arrow pointing here, line pointing here, the text here, so you're attracted by this point. You have the guy here in the center, line here, clouds, the sun. Everything in this image is done to look at this place here, of course. And it's probably on 1/3. Okay, remember, rule of third. If you you try to place something on where the lines cross. Oops, sorry. This one is pretty cool. What's the focus point of this image? For me, this part here. Why? Because it's the biggest. Because it's the building itself, of course. And if you look, it looks like, even if it's not a face, it looks like it's facing this direction, because this part is in shadow and this part is in light. So we care more about this part than this part. And so this is looking left, this is looking left and is smaller. So we go here, right? And then look, boom, the guy is going there. To balance. This goes down here, this goes down here. Dark, light, etc. No details, very small details on the facade as a texture. Details here, because this is the important part that you want to, look at. So in a render, this is the area you want to, spend more time on. Maybe, you want to do a very good shader, a very good unwrap, a lot of details, maybe in Photoshop, and so on. This one, it's weird. So this is like something, I feel like this is something symmetrical, but as you can see, the symmetry is broken, of course, so it's more pleasant. And and of course, this is the focus point, and we have two guys there. And probably, because this shape is so weird, I don't know, if I feel like these two guys are just like waiting for the bus to, pass by. And, if you think about it, without these two guys, there's no way to understand what this part of the building is actually. So the two guys will help you to define the usage of this area. And of course, we have blue and orange. So we have this kind of, fight between these two colors. And but you know what, the thing is that we have the strongest contrast possible here, and also these guys is a little bit, it's like moving a little bit, it's like blurred, and that kind of stuff catch the attention for sure. This is very easy to understand. Symmetry, all over the place, and then something that breaks the symmetry. Of course, without this guy, this image would not work as good as it works now. And of course, the guy is going to the left to balance the image, because your eyes will go naturally on the right. Okay? And very dark foreground to say there's nothing to see here, go further. Repetitions. You see lines going to the right, old people going to the left. Remember, you can't blur old people. They are not running. They will never run. Sorry, it's a joke. This one, see, it's a funnel. You look there, two people here, a perfect rectangle, nature against human-made stuff. Lot of saturation here. Lot of details, but you know, very, very dense details. So something like noise, you don't spend time looking here. A very black arrow pointing there. And this black part here works as a wall, so your eyes will bounce back. There's nothing to see there. Nothing to see there. Okay. This one is weird to me, and the reason is I feel like that everything in this image, you see, goes basically here. See, even this guy is looking there. This mountain goes back there. But at the same time, this is kind of cut. And so, I don't know, probably was forced to make this shot. But if this was a render, I would probably add a little bit of space down there in the image, and I would complete the building as much as I can, or at least a little bit more, I would say. Now it looks very like cut it out, and I don't like it, but I mean, it's just my personal view on the thing. Here, I mean, obvious is a loop, nothing more. So you see, you look at this, but it's also a loop, and the symmetry is of course broken by an element. You see that this kind of a circle, this ellipse is kind of tilted. So the horizon is not straight, but it is a little bit tilted. You see, to the left again, because we want to get back on the left. A crosshair, perfect shapes. Again, guiding lines. And here we have also, like, you know, the small man and the big buildings. The image looks very, very large. The scene, the world looks very large because there's a lot of fog. So this helps, you know. You should have a strong contrast close to you, and as far as you go, you know, far away, you have less contrast and less contrast and less contrast, and then everything at one point becomes of the value of the sky at the horizon. Repetition, 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 connection, tree, part of the building, three birds, differences, the new and the old, symmetry. See? Let me see. Strong lines pointing to the focus point. Very strong saturation close to the focus point. There is a person there looking to the left. See, this is like a funnel. I feel like that sometimes you can put a curve on top of the images and, you know, try to, see, make them very, very contrasted to understand the basic shapes involved in the picture. It also works if you squint your eyes a little bit or if you unzoom, right? These two techniques are useful to understand if your image is working or not. And another test you can do is to flip your images. Most of the videos on YouTube, when you see like people do speed painting, they always at one point take what they are doing and flip it horizontally. And this happens for a couple of reasons. First, your eyes get used to the image too soon, and so if you flip horizontally the image, it's kind of a new image for your brain, so you can see mistakes a lot more. And also, the second reason to flip your image, it's going to work if is well balanced. It doesn't mean that it should work in both ways 100% of the time, but it's a good indicator if your image is well balanced. Okay, if it works in the other way, if it's mirrored. Okay, and that's it. So guys, I hope this lesson was helpful in some way. Now, next time you look at image that you think is good, try to deconstruct it, try to understand where is the focus point, how they force you to look at the focus point with shapes, contrast, saturation, guiding lines, amount of details, I don't know, movements or differences, if there is a balance point, if there is a loop involved in the image, if it's balanced or not. And I don't know, probably you can save those images in a folder and watch them as references if you want to get back some ideas about them.